Now, where are you from?
I'm from East Tennessee, Johnson City.
Still living there?
Yes.
Johnson City. If somebody's watching this but not familiar with Johnson City, what's the closest major city someone would know or be familiar with?
Knoxville, either Knoxville or Nashville.
Now, how far, if they don't know what Knoxville is, how far is, let's say, Nashville from Johnson City?
It's about 4 hours.
Okay. And Knoxville?
2 hours.
Okay. And is it a certain part of Johnson City you represent?
Nah, it's just Johnson City, the whole Johnson City.
Okay. Now, what was it like for you growing up in Johnson City? Can you paint the picture for us?
I mean, it's really not a big city, you feel what I'm saying? But you still got your everyday struggles as if you was in a big city, you feel me? It's projects everywhere. It's no real fathers around. It's drug dealing going on. Like, they call Johnson City Little Chicago, you feel what I'm saying? So, because Al Capone, that's where he used to run around back in the day. So it was a lot of violence and stuff back in the day. So it was a pretty, it's a cool area now, but back then it was a rough area because a lot of drug dealers came down from New York and New Jersey, just different places, North Carolina, and made that they spot where they made money at.
Were you able to avoid that type of atmosphere, or were you lured into it growing up at all?
I mean, I wasn't able to avoid it because we lived in the projects. My mom we grew up in the projects, so we was right around everything. I lived in Keystone and Carver projects growing up, and that's two of the major projects. Like, you can look in the newspapers and stuff like that. So that's where a lot of stuff was going on, a lot of drug dealing and a lot of gang wars. But really not gang wars, just like North Carolina turf versus Tennessee turf. You feel what I'm saying? Because, like I was saying, the head drug dealers, they would come from North Carolina and New York, different places down there. So that's how it was growing up.
Mm. A rough upbringing for you? Would you characterize it as that or no?
I mean, my mom, she was a good mother, so it wasn't really a rough upbringing, you feel me? She kept me away from all of that stuff. She kept me and my brother away from everything. Like, yeah, we might have grew up in the projects, but we didn't have to see her, like, smoking crack or none of that stuff. She wasn't on drugs or anything. Like, she might have dated the drug dealers and stuff, but we really wasn't into none of that stuff. We kept the fly clothes, the fly shoes and everything like that, because, like I was saying, she had dope dealer boyfriends or whatever it may be, so we was good.
I see. As a kid, did you get into trouble?
Oh yeah, I got in a lot of trouble as a kid.
What was the most serious thing you got into trouble for?
The most serious thing I got in trouble for?
Yeah, growing up.
Probably spending counterfeit money.
I've never heard somebody tell me something like that before.
Yeah.
Did you get caught?
Yeah, I got caught.
How did they catch that? Because I assume a lot of people don't get caught.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was just like 10s and 20s, you feel me? But me and one of my homeboys, we went to the Family Dollar or whatever, right down the street from where we was staying. And we was buying stuff. And he walked out the store real quick or whatever. He bought his stuff and he left. So I'm paying or whatever, boom, boom, boom. And the lady, she's looking at the money or whatever, and she's like, this isn't real. And I'm like, what you mean? I just left the bank. It is real, because we used to keep it in like the little bank, you know, the little envelopes that they give you the money in from the bank, you feel me? So I had the money in there or whatever. I'm like, look, I just came from the bank or whatever. And she was like, well, you need to go back to the bank because this ain't real or whatever. And I was like, all right, well, I'm leaving. So I left or whatever, and they called the police, and the police officer, he called the football coach or whatever. This was my senior year, the year that I didn't get to play too. Me not tell you that. So he called the football coach, and the football coach was like, look, well, the police officer told the football coach, he was like, I got 2 of your players down here or whatever spending fake money on videotape or whatever, so what are we gonna do about it? So the football coach called us, took us to the school. We went from the school to the police station. They asked us where we got the money from. I made up a lie or whatever and told them that I found the money, ran with it. They put us on probation, and the dude who I got in trouble with, he happened to be the star player of the football team or whatever. So from then on out, the coach was already pissed at me because I got his star player in trouble, but me and him was like brothers, you feel me? So I took the heat, you feel me? So that was another reason why I couldn't play, because they wasn't willing to fight for me to play anymore, you feel what I'm saying? It was just like, hey man, he gets in trouble, so the hell with him, but it was all good.
But when it came to the counterfeit money stuff, was that something that doesn't get caught? Was that like caught on a whim sort of thing?
I mean,
Just by nature, is it hard to catch counterfeit money like that? Or
oh no, it's easy to catch counterfeit money because it was right around the time that they started putting all the colors on the $20 bills and
Oh.
stuff like that. So we was probably the only ones with some old money.
I see.
Yeah.
Just curious. Now, as a student, what type of student were you in school growing up?
Oh, I was a straight A student. I graduated 3.4 GPA, top
Pretty good.
50%. Yeah. I
You
didn't
said
go to
top
school-
10%
top 10%.
of your class.
Yeah. I really didn't go to school that much. I had to sign a little petition and go around and ask all my teachers to sign it because I was absent from doing what I was doing, but I was a good student.
Doing what you were doing in the streets?
Yeah.
So 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
When did that start for you?
Probably when I was
What
about,
grade or what age were you 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
probably about 15 years old.
So high school? Just
Yeah,
starting high school?
Yeah,
maybe?
high school my sophomore year.
Now, when it comes to the streets, that can be a risky path. Consequences could come from that. Violence could come from that. Incarceration, be it jail or prison, could come from that. Even possibly death. Why go that route? For you, why make that decision?
For me, I mean, there really wasn't too many opportunities out there for me, especially being young and me being black. You feel what I'm saying? In the city that I was brought up in, like it's like a white city. You feel me? So I couldn't go to Chick-fil-A and get a job and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I went and got a job at different places, but that was only to get some money so I can go re-up and do what I had to do because it really wasn't no way out. Once you get a job, that's just like trapping too. You feel me? You're gonna be trapped at a job. So, I mean, the streets it was for me.
Now, was that an unavoidable decision, or could you have made another decision?
I mean, now looking back at it, that I'm older, it is an avoidable decision. But the people that I was around, like my friends, that's what they was doing. So they kind of influenced me, and that's what I seen growing up. You feel what I'm saying? So it really wasn't there really wasn't no light on another path.
Any regrets dealing with the streets?
Oh yeah, a lot of regrets. Just some of the people that I was dealing with, like I don't deal with a lot of my family members because of the streets. Like I learned the hard way, you don't mix business with pleasure. You don't mix business with family because just because they're your family doesn't mean they're gonna do you the right way or keep it 100 with you.
Was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward or what you got out of it?
Hell no. They try to get me. I got conspiracy charges. All my homeboys is locked up. Like, nah, it ain't really worth it.
Somebody watching this, let's say maybe they're around the same age. They're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot out in school. Everybody's situation could be different, but general advice here, what would you tell somebody similar shoes, similar age right now?
Make a decision. Just know that if you're gonna stay in the streets, that it's not gonna end how you want it to end. If you can get out, then get out. You feel me? Start a business, get you a family, raise your kids. You feel what I'm saying? Just get your head on straight. It's more money. You're gonna make a lot more money legally than trying to stay in the streets doing it.
Now, back to the school. Did you rap in school?
I rapped in school once. I couldn't play sports. I made like a little anthem for the football team and performed it at the pep rally, but after that, it was right back in the streets. I really didn't have time for it.
I see. After graduating high school, was there any thoughts on furthering your education?
Oh yeah, I went to college. I graduated from college too.
You did?
Yeah,
What college did you go to?
MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University.
Was that something you were able to get an athletic or academic scholarship for, or was that something you had to pay out of pocket or financial aid, some type of thing?
I mean, I had an athletic scholarship to like Tusculum College, a couple of small colleges, you feel me, just for baseball or whatever. But I had an academic scholarship to go to MTSU, the little Hope Scholarship, the lottery scholarship or whatever, but I lost that. I got in trouble or whatever over some weed, just like a little blunt, you feel me, and they took my scholarship, so then I had to end up paying out of the pocket.
Wow, I didn't know that could happen.
Oh yeah, they ain't playing. And it was just a little roach. This girl, she ain't throw it out, and the police pulled us over.
So do they base okay, so explain how it's taken away, the process of it taken away. So it's
Because
like
it comes federal. It's a federal thing. You feel what I'm saying? The scholarship comes from the federal government. So if you get in trouble, probation, anything with the law, then they taking that away.
how soon?
Oh, it was taken away immediately. Like that semester was paid for, but then after that, oh, I had to pay out of pocket.
They send you a letter or something to notify,
Yeah, they sent
hey.
you a letter. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Did you know that it was going to, okay, so let's say the Roach situation happens. Did you know, like, in your head, I'm going to lose my scholarship?
Oh no, I didn't even know it was gonna play out like that. I was
Mm.
like, man, it's a little roach. I'm gonna take a little class and be done with it, because that's what we did. We had to take a class. We didn't get no fine or nothing.
Mm.
Took the class, and then they sent me the letter. And I was like, damn.
So even though it wasn't an official charge or something that sticks to your record, it still affects the scholarship.
Hmm.
Now, this was the freshman year after the first semester?
Yeah, freshman year.
Lost it that quick.
Yeah.
But you still stuck through and did the out-of-pocket thing, financial aid,
Oh, yeah.
something of that nature.
Yeah.
Now, why that college in particular? Why choose that one? Oh, because of the scholarship.
No, because I went to school for TV and radio broadcasting, and MTSU was like #1 in the country
Oh.
at the time for journalism
I
and mass
see.
communication. So, yeah.
Does that school equal to its reputation?
I mean, what you mean by that question?
Every school has a reputation or what they're known for. Like you
Mhm.
said, that school is really good for
Journalism.
journalism. So does it stick to that? Does it match up to that reputation?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know
Okay.
how to do damn near everything with the camera and behind the scenes and all that radio.
Now, were you rapping at all during your college years?
Yeah, that's how I got through college.
Ah,
Yeah, I stopped doing work at some point, and my professors and my teachers, they were just like, bring us a music video or bring us some rhymes or whatever,
Mm.
and that's how I got through. Or just show the class how to make, because I knew how to edit real good, so I would just show the class how to edit and stuff like that. So that's how I got through.
did you gain a fan base while you were on college?
Oh yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. What motivated you to finish college? Because the way it sounds, you getting this fan base, these people, your peers and school teachers interested in your music and stuff like that, some people might look at that and be like, oh, you know what? I'm done with school. I'm going to take a break, or I'm going to quit now and focus on the music stuff.
Yeah.
Why? What motivated you to finish?
My family, my mom. I was the first dude in my family to go to college and graduate. So, well, to actually even go to college. So, I went to college and I graduated. So, I just did it for my family.
Mm. Would you say it was easy or hard to graduate from college or get that college degree for you?
Oh, it was easy for me.
What made it easy for you?
I mean, because I had a good network, I had a good team and a good system, you feel me? Like, if I wasn't one of those type of people who struggled or nothing, I would ask for help or use the resources on campus that was there, just whatever I needed to do. I pay somebody to do my homework, just, I don't know, if I couldn't do the work, then I asked the teacher, was it something different that I can do, you feel me? Like, I might not be able to do this, but I can do that. Will that work? And some of them was like, yeah, so I just spoke up and that helped.
Looking back, were you happy with that major that you chose?
Yeah.
And when it comes to college, just curious your thoughts on this. Is it worth the massive student loan debt?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's probably the worst part about college is the money that you got to pay to go to college, because you're not gonna make that much money whenever you get out of college. I don't know nobody who I graduated with. Probably about 2 people who uses their degree for what they do.
That is a crazy statistic.
Oh yeah, and I knew everybody in college.
Now, after college is done, is music as a career choice taken seriously right after? Are you doing other things? I don't know if you're in the streets at this time still, or just a legal job, or are you right into music after college is over?
Man, after college it was straight to the streets, right back to the streets. It should've
Even
been
with a
music.
college degree?
Yeah. I mean, I was making money. I've been making money since high school. You feel me? Since I've been 16 years old. You can't tell me a 16-year-old who's bringing in damn near $2,000 a day. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just giving my high school teachers money to hold and giving them the money to go buy my Jordans and stuff on Fridays instead of Saturdays. You feel what I'm saying? You can't tell somebody who's making that much money to go get a job. You feel me? Like I told you, I had a job, but that was just to re-up, and then it was over with after that. So $40,000, $50,000 wasn't really nothing to me after. You feel me? You finishing college and a job telling me you're going to give me $40,000 the whole year? The whole year I got to get $40,000? Like, nah. It just wasn't worth it.
What jobs did you have growing up?
I mean, I worked at Zaxby's. I was a paper boy. Like, I was 12 years old. I was a paper boy. I used to sign the paper. I used to get the subscriptions or whatever, like, because I'd knock on the door and be like, yo, you want to sign up? And they'd pay me cash, you feel me? And I just give them the free prescription and just keep the money, you feel me? So I was always hustling, but yeah, that was really it, Zaxby's, and I worked at a shoe store.
Any of those jobs tough?
Nah.
Any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs? Anything that happened out of the norm?
My homeboy who I got in trouble with the counterfeit money, he was fucking the manager at McDonald's or whatever. So we had a job there, but we never clocked in. He was fucking the manager, so he'd text her and be like, hey, put us that we at work this time or whatever, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wow.
And all we did was went to go pick up checks. That was it. It was like $300, but it was a check. Shit, you 15 years old, it's a check.
Now, these jobs, did you quit them? Did you get fired from them? What ended up happening?
Oh, I quit.
Now, are both parents in your life?
Nah, just my mom.
Just your mother?
Yeah.
What happened to your father?
I mean, same thing that happened to most fathers, you feel what I'm saying? They realize that the pressure coming in, they get ghosts. So, I mean, I know who he is. My mom knows who he is, but, I mean, he just chose to do his own thing.
So, at this point, no relationship with him or not on good terms with him?
Nah.
How old were you when your parents separated?
I mean, I don't even really think they was ever together like that, you feel what I'm saying? Or probably before I was born, but I never knew him to be in the household with us growing up. My mom, she always held it down, and my aunt. So my aunt, she's really like my dad. That's who I call my dad.
Did you have another male figure in your life at all growing up?
Nah.
What about as far as siblings? Are you the only child?
No, I got a brother. My mom raised me and my brother, me and my little brother.
Okay, so you're the older one.
Yeah.
Anybody else in your family raps aside yourself or just you?
Just me.
What does your family think about your rap career?
I mean, at first, I got a real Christian family, so at first they was like, yo, what are you doing? Are you worshiping the devil and all this and all that? Like, they started tripping, you feel what I'm saying? But then once they started listening to it and people started explaining it and they seen the buzz and stuff like that, they got hip, you feel me? And they got behind me, so now you really can't tell them nothing.
Parents supportive at this point?
Yeah,
Well, your mother?
is. Yeah, my mom, she's very supportive.
Right away, or did she have to warm up to it?
I mean, right away, really. Yeah, she really didn't have to. She supports me in whatever I do. She know I'm gonna be great in whatever I do. She just wants me to get out the streets and just live a legit lifestyle.
What does she actually think about the music?
I mean, I don't know. You really would have to ask her about what she thinks about the music. I know she listened to it. She heard it. She hears it on the radio because she lives in Nashville. So she listened to it. She hears it. She hears what the fans say, and people work with her at her job. They come up to her and say stuff to her. So she knows what's going on. But she likes that Lauryn Hill, that old school stuff like that. So it's a whole different feel. It's a new wave.
What does she think about the cussing?
The cousin? Oh,
Yeah.
man, she don't like that at all.
Has she had a chance to see you perform live yet?
No, she hasn't seen me perform live yet.
Maybe soon,
Oh, yeah.
in the future.